Welcome to IT with IT podcast.
Great to be here.
Today we're diving into the really fascinating world of low-code or no-code development platforms, often called LC&C, right?
That's the one. LC&C. It's certainly a hot topic.
Absolutely. We've looked at some comparative analysis, some discussions on these tools, and, well, our mission today is really to unpack what's most important for you to know.
Trying to cut through the noise, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Cut through the jargon, highlight those, aha moments. We want to explore how these platforms are changing software development, who they're actually for.
Yeah, and what they can genuinely do, and crucially, how they differ from each other, because they're not all the same.
Not at all. So think of this podcast as your shortcut, your guide to getting a solid understanding of this really exciting, fast-moving field.
Okay, sounds good. Where should we start? Maybe with the basics. What is low-code and no-code?
Good idea. The material we looked at had a great analogy. It described them as like using advanced Lego bricks. I thought that was quite fitting.
I liked that too. It captures the core idea. Instead of writing, line after line of traditional code, these platforms give you visual interfaces, drag and drop tools, pre-built components.
Right, like clicking together those Lego bricks to build something complex, but much faster and maybe without needing the deep engineering skills you'd need for traditional coding.
Precisely. It's a fundamental shift away from writing code manually towards assembling applications visually.
And the goals behind this shift seem pretty clear. Things like speeding up development.
Massively. Reducing costs is another big one.
Increasing agility, being able to adapt quickly.
And, maybe most importantly, democratizing it. Opening up application creation to more people.
Yeah, empowering folks who aren't necessarily hardcore programmers. Though we should probably clarify that distinction you mentioned earlier, low code versus no code. They're not quite the same thing.
That's a really critical point. Low code is generally aimed at professional developers. It gives them tools to build faster by minimizing the amount of hand coding they need to do. They can still drop down into code if necessary, but a lot of the repetitive stuff is handled visually.
Okay, so it speeds up the pros. What about no code?
No-code platforms take it, a step further. They're designed so that people with little or maybe no formal coding experience, sometimes called citizen developers or just business users, can build and deploy applications themselves.
Got it. So different tools for potentially different builders. Now it feels like LC&C is everywhere lately. There's a real buzz. What's driving all this hype?
Oh, the hype is definitely backed by some serious numbers. The market growth projections are... they're pretty staggering. Forrester, for instance, they're predicting the market could hit around $50 billion by 2028.
$50 billion?
Yeah, and growing at something like 21% annually. And Gartner's perspective is maybe even more dramatic. They reckon that by 2029, 80% of businesses will be using LC&C for mission-critical applications.
80%. That's up from, about 15% now?
Exactly. A huge leap in just a few years. It shows this isn't just a niche trend. It's becoming mainstream.
So what's behind that massive acceleration? What are the big drivers?
Well, there are a few key forces converging, really. First, just the relentless demand for digital transformation. Every company needs to digitize, automate, innovate faster than ever.
And there aren't enough traditional developers to keep up.
That's the second major factor, the ongoing, developer shortage. LC&C offers a way to bridge that gap to get more done with the resources available.
Makes sense.
What else? The need for speed. Faster time to market is crucial. Businesses just can't wait months or years for new applications or features anymore. LC&C promises much quicker development cycles.
And you mentioned democratization earlier, getting business users involved.
Yes, that's the final piece. There's a strong desire and often a real need to involve the business units, the people who actually use the tools directly in creating them. LC&C empowers that collaboration.
Okay, that paints a clear picture of why this is happening. So let's get into the platforms themselves. The analysis we saw covered quite a few key players, and it was striking how different they are. Let's start with Oracle Apex. It was called the Data Whisperer.
Yeah, that nickname fits perfectly. Apex's big differentiator is its incredibly deep integration with the Oracle database. In fact, it's essentially a no-cost feature of the Oracle database. If you have the database, you have Apex.
No cost. That sounds appealing.
It's a huge plus for Oracle shops. Its whole architecture is database-centric. It gives you native access to SQL, PL/SQL, so developers already skilled in those can be productive very quickly.
So it leverages existing Oracle skills and infrastructure heavily.
Absolutely. Plus, it offers a visual IDE. It's adding AI features like generative AI in the upcoming 24.2 release, and it scales naturally because it runs on the Oracle database, potentially in the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OCI.
What kind of things are people building with it?
Common use cases are things like modernizing old Oracle Forms applications, building extensions for Oracle SaaS products like Fusion apps, and creating powerful data reporting and visualization tools.
And the pricing, besides being free with the database on-prem.
In the cloud, it's typically consumption-based, and importantly, there's an always free tier on OCI. So the takeaway is, if you're heavily invested in the Oracle ecosystem and need powerful, data-driven apps built efficiently, Apex is a really strong contender, especially for data-heavy tasks.
Okay, Oracle Apex, the data whisperer. Next up, OutSystems, dubbed the enterprise powerhouse. Sounds like it plays in a different league.
It definitely targets larger organizations with complex needs. OutSystems positions itself as a high-performance platform for building serious, mission-critical enterprise applications.
High performance, mission critical. What does that mean in practice?
It means things like full-stack development capabilities. You can build the front end, back end, logic, integrations, everything within the platform. They also heavily emphasize AI with features like their AI mentor to help developers. It's very much a visual, model-driven approach.
Does it handle mobile well?
Yes, that's another strength. It supports building native quality mobile apps, not just web apps. And it comes with integrated DevOps tools, lifecycle management, the kind of stuff you need for managing complex applications in large teams.
Sounds powerful, but I'm guessing expensive.
That's the trade-off. OutSystems is generally considered one of the higher-end platforms price-wise. The example given was starting around $36,000 a year, and the licensing can be complex, so it's really suited for large organizations that need that robustness and scalability and have the budget for it.
So big projects, big companies, big budgets typically. Got it. Now, Mendix was called the collaborator. What's the story there?
Mendix's interesting angle is its focus on bridging the gap between business users and professional developers. They have this dual IDE strategy.
Dual IDE. How does that work?
They offer Mendix Studio, which is a simpler, web-based, almost no-code environment for business analysts or citizen developers. Then there's Mendix Studio Pro, a more powerful desktop IDE for the professional developers.
Ah, so both groups can work on the same application model, but using tools tailored to them?
Exactly. That's the core idea of fostering collaboration. They also have AI assistants, they call it Maya, built-in collaboration features, and it's built on a cloud-native architecture. That means it's designed for scalability and resilience and offers deployment flexibility, multi-cloud, on-premises, whatever you need.
So flexibility and teamwork are key here.
Definitely. It supports web apps, progressive web apps, PWAs, native mobile. It's quite versatile. It's often used for customer experience projects, broader digital transformation initiatives, and it has strong ties to Siemens, particularly in manufacturing.
What about cost?
Startup costs can potentially be significant, but the value proposition is really in that collaborative development model for complex projects. It's great for organizations trying to get business and IT truly working together.
Okay, moving into a very familiar ecosystem for many, Microsoft Power Apps. You called it the Microsoft Office Buddy.
And that really sums it up. Its biggest strength is its incredibly tight integration with everything Microsoft. Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, Azure. If you live in that world, Power Apps feels very natural.
So lots of built-in connections.
Tons. It has a very visual drag-and-drop interface, and they're integrating their AI Copilot features more and more deeply across the platform, which is a big push for Microsoft.
What about data? Where does it store things?
Primarily, it uses Microsoft Dataverse, which is its underlying data platform tightly linked with Dynamics 365. But a huge advantage is its massive library of connectors, over 1,400 of them now, apparently.
1,400. So it can talk to almost anything.
Pretty much. It makes it really easy to connect to various data sources and services, both inside and outside the Microsoft ecosystem.
And who's typically using it? What for?
It's hugely popular for building internal business apps, think expense approvals, inventory trackers, simple HR tools. Also big for workflow automation, often paired with Power Automate, and for extending the capabilities of Dynamics or Microsoft 365.
Pricing seems user-based.
Yeah, typically per user per month. The premium license was mentioned at around $20 per user per month. It can offer a really strong ROI, especially if you're already heavily invested in Microsoft licenses and Azure. It's just a very natural fit for that environment.
Makes sense. Next, SAP Build Apps.
Yeah.
Formerly AppGyver, right?
Right.
And you called it the SAP Connector and No-Code Creator.
Yes, and that name change highlights its focus. While it started as a more general no-code platform, AppGyver, as SAP Build Apps, its primary strength is connecting to and extending SAP systems, S/4HANA, SuccessFactors, etc.
So it's a go-to for SAP integration.
It's certainly designed that way. It offers a visual development environment primarily focused on no-code but with low-code capabilities, and it can generate mobile applications. It integrates tightly with the SAP Business Technology Platform, or BTP.
Is it only for SAP stuff?
Not exclusively. You can build standalone apps too. And a really important point is the AppGyver Community Edition is still available and free, and quite powerful for general no-code development.
So there's a free entry point.
Yes, a very good one. The paid enterprise SAP Build Apps version obviously offers deeper SAP integration, enterprise features, SAP's AI assistant Joule, but the pricing can be complex and potentially expensive, as is often the case with enterprise SAP licensing.
So ideal for companies needing to build front ends or extensions for their SAP systems, with a great free option for broader use cases.
You got it. Think custom front-end experiences for SAP data, mobile apps connecting to SAP, or even standalone apps built using the free version.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Zoho Creator, the affordable all-rounder.
Yeah, Zoho Creator really shines in its balance of ease of use, capability, and crucially, affordability. It sits within the broader Zoho ecosystem of business apps, which is popular with SMBs.
So good value for money.
Definitely. It has a drag-and-drop interface, but also includes its own scripting language called Deluge. This means you can start simple, but also add quite sophisticated custom logic if you need to.
Does it have its own database?
Yes, it includes an integrated database, plus built-in reporting, analytics, and workflow automation tools. It's quite a complete package for building business apps.
What kind of apps are typical?
Things like custom CRM modules, order management systems, HR processes, project trackers, really a wide range of internal tools.
And the pricing is attractive.
Generally, yes, it's tiered, per user pricing, ranging from maybe $8 to $25 per user per month. It offers strong value, especially if you're already using other Zoho products. A good, budget-friendly all-rounder.
Right, now for something maybe a bit different, Bubble, the web app canvas, sounds very flexible.
That's the perfect word. Bubble is renowned for the sheer power and flexibility it gives you to build complex, custom web applications entirely visually. No code required, but you can build really sophisticated stuff.
Like what sort of stuff?
Think custom SaaS products, online marketplaces, complex internal dashboards, social networks, things that often require traditional coding. Bubble lets you design the UI with pixel-perfect control using its drag-and-drop canvas and define all the logic using a visual workflow engine.
Does it handle data and extensions?
Yes, it has its own integrated database, which is PostgreSQL-based now, I believe, and it has a huge plugin ecosystem, the notes mentioned, over 8,000 plugins, allowing you to integrate third-party services and add complex features.
Okay, sounds incredibly powerful for web apps. Is there a catch? I remember something about pricing.
Yes, the pricing model. Bubble moved to a usage-based model using something called workload units, or WU. Basically, you pay based on how much server resources your app consumes.
And that's unpredictable.
It can be. While potentially cost-effective for low-usage apps, it's caused concern about predictability and potentially high scaling costs as your app grows popular or performs complex operations. It's something you really need to understand and model carefully before committing.
So, amazing design freedom for web apps, but need to watch that WU-based pricing closely.
Exactly. It offers unparalleled visual web app building power, but the pricing requires careful consideration, especially for scaling.
Okay, last one on our tour, Glide, the spreadsheet transformer. That sounds very specific.
It is, and delightfully so. Glide's magic is its speed and simplicity in turning data you already have in spreadsheets like Google Sheets or Excel into functional mobile-first apps, specifically progressive web apps, PWAs.
So spreadsheet data becomes an app, just like that.
Pretty much. You point Glide at your spreadsheet, use its super intuitive visual builder to arrange components, and boom, you have an app that syncs data back and forth with the spreadsheet in real time.
Wow, that sounds incredibly fast for simple apps.
It's probably the fastest way to get from data in a sheet to a working mobile app. It's fantastic for things like internal team directories, simple inventory tools, field sales apps, event guides, anything where the data lives neatly in a spreadsheet.
Are there templates?
Yes, lots of pre-built templates and components to get you started quickly. The pricing is tiered Maker, Team, Business plans, with some distinctions based on whether you're using personal or business emails, focusing on different user types.
So the key takeaway is speed and simplicity for spreadsheet-driven mobile apps.
Absolutely. If you want the quickest path from a spreadsheet to a simple, data-driven mobile app, Glide is likely your answer.
Okay, wow. That's quite a tour. We've gone from Oracle's data focus to OutSystems' enterprise power, Mendix's collaboration, Microsoft's ecosystem play, SAP's connector, Zoho's value, Bubble's web canvas, and Glide's spreadsheet magic.
It really highlights that there's no single best LC&C platform, does it? It completely depends on what you need.
Exactly. So how should someone listening try and figure out which one might be right for them? What are the key questions to ask?
I think it boils down to a few core things. First, who is going to be building the application? Are they professional developers, citizen developers, business users with no tech background? That narrows it down significantly.
Okay, builder skill level. What's next?
Then, what needs to be built? Is it a simple internal tool, a complex customer-facing web portal, a mobile app, an enterprise-grade system replacing a legacy one? The type and complexity of the app matter hugely.
Right, and data is obviously key.
Crucial. Where does the data live now? Where does it need to live? Does the platform need deep database integration like Apex, or is something like Dataverse or a built-in database sufficient?
Integration needs too, presumably. Does it need to talk to other specific systems like SAP or Salesforce or Microsoft tools?
Absolutely. Those connector libraries like Power Apps has, or the deep integration focus of Apex or SAP Build Apps, become really important depending on your existing tech stack.
And the elephant in the room.
Budget.
Always. What's the budget? Are you looking for a free or low-cost entry point like Glide's basic tiers or Apex with Oracle DB or Zoho? Or can you invest in a more powerful, potentially expensive enterprise platform like OutSystems or Mendix?
So maybe a quick recap. If you're deep in the Microsoft world,
Power Apps is probably your first look.
need complex, scalable enterprise apps and have the budget. OutSystems, or perhaps Mendix, would be strong candidates.
Your world revolves around Oracle data.
Apex is purpose-built for that.
Building a custom SaaS web application visually.
Bubble offers incredible freedom, but mind the pricing.
Just need to turn that spreadsheet into a quick mobile tool.
Glide is your speed demon.
Looking for an affordable all-rounder, maybe already using Zoho.
Zoho Creator is a great value proposition.
Need deep SAP integration.
SAP Build Apps is the obvious choice there, especially the enterprise version.
That really helps crystallize the choices. It's amazing how these tools are lowering the barrier to creating software.
It truly is. It's putting powerful capabilities into the hands of more people and businesses, accelerating innovation in ways that, well, weren't really possible just a decade ago. It's a space that's definitely worth watching.
Absolutely. We've really only scratched the surface today of this dynamic world of low-code, no-code.
There's so much more depth to explore.
For sure. But we hope this podcast has given you some valuable insights, helped you understand which of these powerful tools might fit your needs, and maybe sparked a few of those aha moments we talked about.
And remember, many of these platforms offer free trials or free tiers. Experimenting is often the best way to get a real feel for them.
Great point. Don't just take our word for it. Try them out. Thank you so much for joining us for this IT with IT podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, let us know what you think, or what LCNC platforms you're using. And definitely visit our blog over at itwithit.net for more in-depth explorations of the ever-changing tech landscape. Until next time.